Shwmai and Croeso to a very special FC Cymru where we will be showing you how Welsh football are saving lives across the country in a unique tie-up with Welsh Blood. Welcome to Holyhead Hotspur, where the clubhouse will today be transformed into a blood donor station, and I'll be giving blood for the very first time, so stay tuned, see if I faint, that sort of thing. But fingers crossed, that'll all be fine. But let's find out a little bit more about this tie-up, and we'll follow the journey of the blood across the country and find out how exactly it saves lives. Come on, let's go. Fantastically, you've got this tie-up with Welsh Blood. Tell us a little bit about it and how it came about.
Well, fantastic. I had an interview with a young lady, an elderly lady, lovely. She was fantastic, from the Blood Service, and she was visiting 3 different venues. We were number 1, and we've been here ever since.
So they come in here, they set up and use your facilities?
Yeah, the lorry comes up, they pile in, and great, met a lot of good people, giving blood, and the nurses and everybody as well. Great.
Have you got your donor card?
I don't, it's a first time donor, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming to see us.
There we go. How does that feel for you?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, lovely. Well, there we go. The blood, as you can see, is being taken. The whole process really simple, really straightforward. Everyone looking after me fantastically well here. It was interesting when the pinprick was going through and watching the iron levels drop. So they test for iron levels, which is fascinating to do. It's incredible though, isn't it? The way they've changed the football club into a donor centre. Absolutely amazing. Can't recommend it enough, to be honest with you. There it is, the bag of blood, all done and dusted. The next time, well, you see this, is going to be in Llantrisant as it continues its journey around Wales. Right, tea time.
This community partnership was set up between Welsh Blood Service, the FAW, JD Cymru Leagues and Genero Adran Leagues in November 2020. In every community, more than likely, there is a football club, and they're best placed to be able to share information with their supporters and just raise awareness about blood donation, encourage their supporters to get involved and support their club by coming along, or just even looking into blood donation and finding out what it's all about, see if it's for them. And yeah, come and support your club and give a pint while you're here.
My great-grandmother had bone marrow cancer when I was about 10 or 11. And we used to take her up to Bangor Hospital, and she used to have blood transfusions a couple of times a week. And I told my mum then, when I'm older, I'm going to start donating blood. And I think she thought, oh yeah, you know, we'll see. And then as soon as I turned 17, I started, and the only break I've had was when I was pregnant and had my son. Otherwise, I've given regularly ever since.
And if you had any advice for somebody that was thinking about it?
Just go for it. Just go for it. Even if you get here and you get to the point of having the needle in and you have a bit of a wobble, at least you've been through the process, you've met everybody, and it's nowhere near as bad as you imagine it in your head. It's relatively painless. I mean, it's a tiny scratch when the needle goes in. You're here for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. You get a drink and biscuits at the end. What's not to like?
Oh hey, I'm Kylie Nolan. Welcome to the Welsh Blood Service in Talbot Green. We are going to give you a tour of what happens to your blood once you've donated. So it comes in through this hatch. We then put it into these centrifuges where it splits into the 3 components. So basically what we're looking at here, we're looking at the plasma, we're looking at the buffy coat, which is in the middle, and then we're looking at the red cells at the bottom. This will go on the press, it'll squeeze the plasma out from the top, the red cells out from the bottom, and leave the buffy coat in this bag. So once the blood has come off the blood press, we bring it over to this area where we have to input it into a system. Once we put it into the system, we'll be able to track each step of the way and the process of where the blood goes. Once we've done that, we then bring it to the fridge to store it.
We're in hospital services today in the Welsh Blood Service. So the process what we're going to show you now is what happens to the blood once it comes over to us. The blood has come over to us from processing, and it comes into our fridge, and we store it, and it stays in our fridge waiting for us to issue it to customer hospitals. We deal with about 300 to 400 units of blood a day. We supply 20 hospitals across Wales, and we also supply the 4 air ambulance across Wales.
Hi, I'm Jess and here's my story. Well, I've always suffered from iron deficiency anemia, but it never got to the stage where I needed a transfusion until I gave birth to my son, Connor, who you met outside. I suffered a postnatal hemorrhage where I needed an emergency blood transfusion. So following from then, I've had a further 2 just to help with the iron deficiency. So yeah, and I'm a rare blood group, so it's even harder then to get blood, so it's massively important for people to donate. It's quite common, but obviously I was quite young. I had him when I was 18, so I didn't have a clue what was going on or nothing like that, but I remember them saying you needed a transfusion as an emergency, so I suppose it all just happened so quick, but yeah, it's quite scary, and it's, it's quite dangerous, so I was lucky that, we're lucky to have blood donors. I started when I was about 11, but during my time in school it wasn't really a big thing for girls to play. But I did join with Aberystwyth Town in the 2012-13 season, but obviously went off and had my little boy, and then I've just rejoined recently, so he's taken over now. It's time for me to step back maybe. He takes over most weekends now, so yeah, he loves it, in his element. Well, he's grown up around football, his auntie plays for Aberystwyth Town as well. But yeah, so he's just kind of been brought up around football and he loves it. He plays it through school, in the house, in the living room, in the kitchen, everywhere. And he's loving every minute. So he's really good, to be fair. I think he just thinks about the money most of the time. When his nan offers him £1 for every goal, my sister's gone and done the same. But yeah, he's really good.
I just think it's so important to keep the blood levels stocked and high because, like I said, you never know what might happen tomorrow. Once you get over that first time of donating, you realise how, it's not that much of a bigger deal anyway, and I was there 20 minutes and then straight home then from work, and you feel good about yourself then, you've done something good the day.
It's not really spoken about much, giving blood and stuff, but I think it needs to be spoken about more so that people are aware that stuff like even childbirth, giving birth, or like if I'm in the hospital when I work on the weekends, the amount of people that come in needing transfusions is quite a lot now compared to what we used to hear. Go and give it a go. Even if you gave one, it's a massive difference. That one blood donation could save loads of lives. As well, like I mentioned, the blood groups, the different blood groups. You can get a really rare blood group, and obviously the blood has to be compatible to be able to give to that certain blood group. So anyone that's able to give blood, go and do it.